The Justice Department is under scrutiny for heavily redacting the initial batches of files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. At least 550 pages of documents are completely blacked out, and so far, only a small portion of the hundreds of thousands of documents have been released, even though the department was required by law to make everything public by last Friday. While the Justice Department has defended its handling of the files, Congressman Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna, who helped lead the effort to pass the Epstein Files Transparency Act, told Face the Nation moderator Margaret Brennan the DOJ needs to do more.
This isn't everything you asked for just yet, but would you acknowledge that they are complying with the spirit, if not the intent of your law?
No, they're flouting the spirit and the letter of the law. It's very troubling, the posture that they've taken. And I won't be satisfied until the survivors are satisfied.
The problem is this was a slap in the face of survivors. What do they want? They want to know who are the rich and powerful men who visited Epstein's rape island and covered up the abuse.
CBS News Justice Department correspondent Scott MacFarlane joins us now. Scott, thanks for being here. So in a court filing this morning, the Justice Department provided some more insight into its review process. How does it explain these redactions?
That they are trying to get this information out as punctually as possible, that they're trying to be mindful of redacting things that could expose the information and the identities about victims. And they don't want to put victims' information out there when they should not be. They also want to ensure that there's no child exploitative images that are released here. So they're arguing it's a process and that they are following the law in that process. But when you're explaining, when you're arguing, you are, to a degree, losing a political message here, because the critics of the administration, which include members of both parties on this issue, say the law was unequivocal. That work should have been done already, that they had a whole month to ready these files, to do those redactions, to keep those images safe, and they didn't meet the deadline. And there's an argument now from Congressman Khanna, from whom you just heard, from any number of survivors speaking with CBS News, that these redactions destroy the trust and confidence some survivors have in the administration to do right by these files and release them all.
And Scott, I know that you and the rest of our CBS teams have been reporting on this all weekend and going through the documents. Anything explosive or revelatory so far?
A few different things that are worth noting. First of all, some things are not a surprise at all. Some things we've already seen. Images of the jail the night Jeffrey Epstein died, photos of him with then businessman Donald Trump, and photos of former President Clinton. No surprise there. I think what jumped out was a 1996 memo that was given to or made by the FBI about one of the survivors, Maria Farmer, who warned in 1996 that she suspected there were child pornographic images in Epstein's possession. Farmer family made the argument to me late today that that memo shows that there was not a vigorous enough investigation of her complaint, which could have led to more victimization of more girls and more young women, and more of a crime spree that has led us to this moment.
A spokesperson for former President Clinton is also speaking out. What is he saying?
Yeah, he says that the former president would support, in fact, is encouraging the full release of everything. Get all the photos out there, that he has nothing to hide. There was no wrongdoing. I think there's been this concern, including from Democrats in Congress, that the Department of Justice leaned a little too hard into the Bill Clinton photos that were released Friday, which show no wrongdoing, but that there may have been a political mechanization by the Trump administration in that first batch to criticize a Democrat or cast light on a Democrat. This is to be a non-political moment. It was a bipartisan coalition, a near unanimous coalition in Congress, which is rare these days, to release these files. And there's increasing pressure on the administration to do that as this new week begins.
Scott MacFarlane, appreciate you. Thank you.